What is up, everybody? This is Shane here at Fret Zealot, and today we're demoing the Revstar Element series, brand new in our shop, and we're super excited to have these guitars in stock. These are ones that we've been looking at for a long time, and a super unique guitar from the electric Yamaha range. This is the Element, this is the entry-level Revstar guitar, but it really comes in. The bass line is, the bar is set high with the Revstar line, and the Element really delivers a super well-playing and super well-constructed guitar with through and through the Yamaha quality and attention to the features and the pricing that we really appreciate. They do such a good job of delivering consistency and high quality, and that holds true really well with this no-nonsense Revstar unit. These guitars really have a particular aesthetic. I mean, this one it really jumps out, right? And they actually come in a really sweet variety of colors. This is the yellow. We also have it in black, blue, and white. So it really covers the range of different vibes that you would want, from sort of more dialed back and mysterious to this one, which I really love. Just this neon yellow goes absolutely crazy. So kudos to Yamaha for making some really great and unique color choices too that match the uniqueness of this guitar. It's got a really distinct body quality, body shape. It's somewhat like an offset double cutaway guitar. It's really, I don't even know what I could really compare this to. You know, there are other guitars that are out there that might have a similar sort of look to it, but the Revstar really is sort of in a league of its own. They are really nicely contoured with chambering in the body, which make it really not light, but very, very nicely balanced and a really just comfortable weight. So I like that a lot. Contouring on the back and on the front as well, just a little bit here for your armrests. And then I don't know if you can see the detail, but these guitars also feature a double racing stripe up the middle, which I think looks fantastic. It sort of harkens back to the automotive, and I know it kind of is inspired by vintage motorcycle aesthetic, so I really can't argue with that. It's super cool. Set neck construction, so it's got a really nice neck joint, meets up with the body here, and it's got just easy access all the way up to the 22nd fret with jumbo frets. And the first real major difference maker to me that I noticed when I picked up this guitar was actually the paint treatment, the finish treatment on the neck. I really am not sure what this is, but it is different than the glossy finish on the body. So on the neck, it's more of a matte finish, which is just so comfortable. Like your hand doesn't stick to it or slide around on it the same way that it would with a glossy finish. This matte is just so super comfortable. And it kind of reminds me of, you know, like just lightly finished treated wood, you know, but it's painted, it's colored. So I don't know what they're doing to get this textured matte finish on it, but it really does a good job. And I'm curious about seeing, you know, other guitars, if there are other guitars out there that utilize this type of look. This almost like lightly sanded and matte texture, which just makes it all that much more comfortable. It's got a substantial neck size, very comfortable, not like a thin neck profile. It's more like a C shape, but again, pretty unique neck profile that is just sort of, I guess maybe would make the comparison to sort of like a SG Epiphone type of neck profile, but it's really takes on its own sort of thing with the connection with the body joint and the feel of the neck with the treatment. Super comfortable playing guitar. 22 jumbo frets, rosewood fingerboard, and then the guitar is made of mahogany. So that's the neck, mahogany, the body, mahogany with chambering to balance it out, give it some nice resonance too. It's a really great body design. This is actually the slightly updated version of the Revstar. It's just got a slightly different profile than the original release. Yamaha made some improvements with the release of this current version of the Revstar series. So chambered mahogany is a really great wood choice, and it's super stable and very resonant and sturdy. Just I love the construction throughout with the full mahogany and the set neck joint. Really like the jumbo frets too, just a really needed feature. I really appreciate having that on most of my modern instruments. All of the Revstars use a Tune-O-Matic style bridge, tailpiece, a hardtail with chrome hardware. And also, you know, they also have these kind of cool tuners with, it's sort of like a resin tuning peg, which just looks nice. And then onto the electronics. These are Alnico 5 humbucking pickups. So they sort of have a classic vintage style humbucker sound, the focus mid-range, and sort of a full spectrum humbucker tone. They rock, and they sound really good. Just like a standard kind of humbucker sound that will do everything that you need a humbucker to do, and it'll do some different tones as well to kind of give you a sense of the range. But I wanted to really feature just how nice and kind of bright. They sound, playing clean, and that's really what I look for in a good instrument, one that's gonna respond well to my playing and reward me for good technique. And that's what these pickups do. They're really just nice and clear. Throughout, all of the different notes, the chords, the low ones pick up great, the higher notes come out perfectly. And then what you get from there is the ability to access your different combinations. So it's got a 3-way selector switch. That was just the bridge. Here's the second position, which is going to be both humbuckers. Sounds pretty nice. Honestly, don't know what most people use the 2 humbuckers together for, but it's an option, and it kind of does sound. It sounds interesting. And then we got the neck pickup. Just compare that back to the bridge again. The neck on this kind of rounds out really nicely, so it might be nicer for sort of jazzier, warmer sounding. And then the bridge is has a little bit of heat to it, and you'll really hear that when you're playing with distortion, but even clean. Yeah, I mean, really nice and responsive. It sounds like it's got a bit of output too, which I really like from the bridge pickup, and I think you get a really nice sort of distinction between the two. I like the difference that I'm getting between the neck and the bridge pickup. But it goes further than that, because we got the tone knob, but it's got the secondary feature, which is the focus switch. And what that's going to do is slightly taper off some of the frequencies on these pickups. It's not a coil tap, actually. It's more of like an EQ. And what it's going to do is slightly focus up some of the low end and kind of give you a slightly brighter tone. So let's hear how that sounds, starting with the bridge pickup. Then pull that switch. Try it with the neck pickup. focus switch. So I'm getting a really subtle change in the tones there, but I think what it's going to do is if you're having like maybe a little bit of issues with some muddiness, or your guitar is just not singing as clear as you like, I think removing some of those excess frequencies and just focusing in like as the switch is intended to do, that's going to be a nice problem solver for you if you're using different pedals and things like that, and you ever run into an issue where you need to somewhat just focus up the tone a little bit, maybe it's because you want to sound more articulate with your playing, or you're finding your tone to just start getting a little bit muddy. That is going to be a really nice utility to have, which also just combines in with the tone control. So that's just going to make this knob as a really versatile tone knob that can do two things: dial out your tone frequencies, but then also engage a slight EQ to the guitar. So overall, even though it can go pretty deep, it's a really simple and effective instrument. 2 knobs, 3-position switch, really simple controls, and just a really well-performing instrument throughout with the construction and all. I guess I would sum it up by saying that like the simplicity is a big plus for something like this. You know, with the double humbucker guitar, you don't necessarily always want to make use of, say, like 4 different knobs, and this gives you all the control that you need without it being overly complicated, and that lets Yamaha put more effort into other special features that make this guitar a better playing instrument, which would be things like the neck and the set neck construction and the treatment on the neck here, the jumbo frets. Those are the things that make a big difference to me. So having the simple and effective controls with the better setup is a really great balance, and that makes this guitar super, that makes this guitar a hit for me. So I've pulled out this black guitar to sort of demonstrate who you can be if you were to maybe get this one and you wanted to play this with some distortion and be more of like the rock side of things, the harder, heavier tones. So let's hear how this guitar sounds with some distortion. So just to summarize like my impressions of the Yamaha Revstar, it's sort of like a classic meets modern blending of vintage era sort of styles and aesthetics with modern construction and techniques for guitar building. It's got everything that I look for in instruments that come out today, and that's quality materials, solid construction, great resonance and comfortability, and also little things that I appreciate like jumbo frets that make the frets last really long and just add to the comfortability of the neck. Really solid craftsmanship throughout. And then just stunning beauty that goes into the color selection and the personality of each one of these Revstars. So check out the Element series. It's now on the Fret Zealot shop. Check us out and let us know what you think about the Revstar Element.